Xbox making moves that are honestly shaking the entire game industry. I believe Xbox is pushing the gaming industry forward, is really on the cutting edge here on a lot of things. That means stuff like $5 billion they've spent on indie devs. That's absolutely huge. There's a new jaw-dropping Minecraft graphics upgrade we're going to cover today, and now a possible Steam integration. Let's break down everything. Well, let's break down what this means for the future of Xbox. We're going to go over each of these stories, but before we do, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We drop videos like this all the time right here on this channel. Let's talk about ID at Xbox's first $5 billion milestone. Here it is over at Game Rant. They're really, really big numbers, says ID at Xbox director as he reveals new royalties figure. Now, you gotta realize that some of the games that are coming out of ID at Xbox here are games like, wait for it, Minecraft. That's right, Minecraft actually originally came out of ID at Xbox. We've got Phasmophobia, Balatro Stalker 2. A lot of games come out of ID at Xbox and have thrived at ID at Xbox. Meathead is another one that's a big one. Anyways, a lot of games have come out of ID at Xbox. It's been a fantastic program since it first dropped, but word is $5 billion. In a Game Rant interview, ID at Xbox director Guy Richard reveals that the program has paid over $5 billion in royalties to independent developers. ID at Xbox was announced in late 2013 before launching in 2014, meaning that the program has hit this massive number just over its decade mark. So in 10 years, $5 billion in royalties to ID at Xbox developers. Well done. ID at Xbox works in conjunction with other Xbox initiatives like Xbox Play Anywhere, Game Pass, and Developer Acceleration Program to help bring independent developers into the Xbox ecosystem. ID at Xbox provides technical resources like SDKs, educational resources like talks, marketing resources in and out of Game Pass, and much, much more. Today, the Xbox ecosystem consists of PC consoles and the cloud, meaning the Xbox ecosystem is a great way to get games on various platforms for gamers from all walk of life. I mean, $5 billion is a big number that I'm sure Xbox is going to continue to promote here to get more ID at Xbox games over on their platform. The growth of ID at Xbox, previously, it was reported that ID at Xbox had released over 2,000 games and paid more than $1.5 billion by August 2020. So that would be 7 years later. So if that number is correct, 1.5 billion by 2020, that means 3.5 billion has dropped since 2020, so just in 5 years. The royalties were reported to be around 2.5 billion in March 2022. Later they were reported to be around 4 billion in November 2023. And now we're sitting at 5 billion in 2025. Now, Xbox at ID has worked with over 5,000 developers globally, shipping 6,000 games and paying out 5 billion in royalties. When asked about the growth of the program, Richards said, quote, "Today, we're working with 5,000 developers globally that have shipped 6,000 games on Xbox across all of our devices, and we are thrilled that the program has now reached over 5 billion in royalties that we've paid to independent developers since the program first started. This is remarkable and an almost pinch me moment," Richards went on to say. Here's what he said. "I think if you were to ask anybody who was here when we started the program if we'd be achieving these numbers in 2025, they wouldn't believe it. They're really, really big numbers. I think that is a huge testament to the creativity of independent developers, as well as the willingness of everybody at Xbox to support developers all around the world and find ways to make it easier to bring games into the ecosystem. Of course, it's always a testament to our fans who have the passion to play all these incredible games coming to all of our devices." Absolutely huge. I think we're going to see more and more of a focus on independent games, independent developers. I think that's where risk is being taken. I think that's a universal talking point at this point. It's not my idea necessarily. It is. It's where risk is being taken. It's where new ideas. I mean, just look at on Game Pass right now, Immortals 33 out there. Games like Diver Dave, which I guess is not really an independent game, but titles that take risk versus big AAA titles like a Dragon Age or an Assassin's Creed that are much more decent. Assassin's Creed, especially, by all accounts, it's a pretty decent iteration of Assassin's Creed, but it's not taking huge risks. ID at Xbox games or independent developers really are In closing, here over at Game Rant, with these stats, however, ID at Xbox is not resting on its laurels. The work continues for Richards and his team, with the former highlighting some upcoming releases that Xbox fans should keep an eye out for. Descenders Next, Claire Osborne, Expedition 33. There you go. There's a game. Prime example of a game taking huge risks coming from ID at Xbox. Expedition 33 is the game that looks so interesting. That's the game where at everybody below the age, and I believe the age in the game is 33, or above the age of 33 rather, passes away in this game. And it happens every single year, and that clock continues to tick down, and you join your friends to go and beat it. It looks fascinating. Go look up the trailer if you've not seen it yet. We've covered it on this channel in depth in the past. That's coming from ID at Xbox. So, Expedition 33, Hollow Knight, Silksong, all of which are releasing on Xbox Game Pass as well. Quote, we're really excited about them, and we can't wait to see the reaction of players when they get to experience these games on all of our devices. Again, I mean, I think just what we were talking about, Expedition 33 is a prime example of ID at Xbox games, independent developers really taking risks, really pushing the genre forward. I did write down a question here for the ID at Xbox. How will Xbox's $5 billion in investment in indie developers shape the future of the landscape in gaming? I think if they can continue to ramp this, here's the thing. It benefits them a lot more now, I think, than it used to because of things like Game Pass. And I think if they can continue to drop these games, pay out these royalties, get more indie developers over on their platform, all those indie developers end up dropping day one on Game Pass, which does not prevent them. Remember, that does not prevent them from dropping anywhere else, but it does give them that Game Pass boost. I think it's absolutely huge. I think it's a critical piece of the Game Pass success and Game Pass future. In a subscription model, in subscription gaming model, you need as many titles as you can within that subscription. That's the Netflix model. You need it. You don't want to be in Apple's situation. Rumor is that Apple streaming is losing $1 billion for Apple a year. And that's because they just don't have the content there. They have fantastic content. They have some of the best content, incredibly expensive to make content. They're basically a streaming platform with all triple. If we're going to talk about gaming titles, Apple TV is streaming in the gaming space would be streaming titles with only AAA games. You can't do that. You got to be the Netflix of the streaming. You got to have independent developers as well. And I think that that's exactly why Xbox and ID Xbox is so critical to Game Pass and the future of Xbox and the future of gaming. Again, this is where a lot of the chances are being taken. A lot of the boundaries are being pushed. And it's very exciting. It's very cool to see. Talking about Minecraft, we spoke about Minecraft early. It is indeed. I've confirmed multiple times on search engines and that because I was like, is it an ID at Xbox game? Yeah, it was an ID at Xbox game when it published. So there you go. Minecraft set for graphics upgrade that will transform Bedrock Edition on Xbox and beyond. Now, remember the super duper graphics that were coming from Minecraft? They never came. They were back on the Xbox One. They just never came. I was super stoked for them. I was playing a lot of Minecraft at the time when that was announced. This was, like 6 years ago that this was announced. And then it just never came. We are getting an update, and this is very, very exciting. It's called Vibrant Visuals. Here it is. This is over at purexbox.com. It's been announced today as part of Minecraft Live that Minecraft will be getting a graphics upgrade in the near future known as Vibrant Visuals. I'm not going to hold my breath because the super duper graphics I was very much looking forward to. I thought this is going to change everything. It's going to change everything in Minecraft, and then we never got it. So is this one of those cases? I don't think so. This sounds a little bit more solidified and that it's actually going to happen. It looks set to be released on a variety of devices, including Xbox consoles. Vibrant Visuals is designed to provide, quote, improved visual elements such as directional lighting, volumetric fog, and more, while also remaining true to the team's creative principles, and the result is said to be pretty spectacular. Here are the results. Quote, the results are dazzling. Shadows move as the sun arcs across the sky, water reflects the landscape around it, and clouds appear infinite as they stretch far into the distance. Improvements, including volumetric lighting, mean you'll be able to watch the sun rays carve across the overworld, and every block will cast its own shadow. Lights will shine through your windows, and you'll be able to see reflections in water and on the surface of metallic blocks, while subsurface scattering brings a gentle glow to leaves and grass. Mobs and items will also have more of a glow. Spider eyes will be even more menacing in the dark, and torches will cast a radiant path back to your build. You can see this action in the deep dark too. Now, there's no release date on this yet. Here are some comparison pictures of what to expect here. On the left is the old one. On the right is the new one. You can see, there we go. I popped it up there. You can see on the left, there's no reflection from the light. On the right, there is more reflection of the light. The light acts more better. Now, this is not the super duper graphic upgrade where we were going to 4K and there was ray tracing elements in there and it was like very, very much upgraded. This really is, okay, this is happening. This gives me faith because this really is iterative here. Like, this is pretty big with the shadows you can see on the left versus the right. It's an iterative update that really just adds lighting effects to everything, adding that detail of lighting effects. You can see the difference here with the sun, that there's a glare there. The water reflects that light pretty well. So very cool update if you're into Minecraft. Even here on the leaves and stuff, look how beautiful that looks, actually. That's pretty cool. Well, eventually we'll take this all for granted, but I like that. The problem with the super duper graphics upgrade, if you remember, it really kind of changed the entire feel of Minecraft, which is why I'm sure they decided, man, maybe there were technical issues there, but I'm sure that's why they decided not to go with it. You really do have to stick to the classic, tried and true Minecraft style. My kids are just barely discovering Minecraft. Minecraft is one of those titles that will continue to be a top title for forever because kids never go out of business. All new generations of kids, adults, even continue to play this. You went in a game that is built around creating anything you want, whenever you want, however you want. Minecraft will always succeed. And so not going away from the original graphics, instead just iteratively enhancing them over time is a big deal. The question I wrote down here is, what impact will Minecraft's vibrant visuals upgrade have on both new and veteran players? I don't think it'll have a huge impact. I think it's just a nicety. Like, it is a quality of life feature, and we always enjoy quality of life features for sure, no doubt. But it's not like breathtakingly mind-boggling change here. It is iterative to bring more realistic lighting into the game without changing the overall feel here. So I don't think it's going to have a huge update. Again, Minecraft just crushes it month in and month out anyways. So this is a Microsoft title on all devices. Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, PC, anywhere you can play this game, it's being played. iPad, mobile. It's a huge title for Xbox. It's a huge title for Microsoft. And I like this. I actually think I prefer this to the super duper graphics update because I do think it's important to keep that original style, and that one just didn't, even though I was disappointed that it never came, because it would have been a cool option to toggle on and off. Last but not least, let's talk about Steam. That's right. There's some new UI from Xbox leaked, and on it looked like a mock-up, but on it, you could access Steam. At least there was a Steam label that was there suggesting potential integration of Steam games into the Xbox ecosystem. I think this is big. It unifies gaming libraries across platforms if this comes to fruition. And remember, Phil Spencer at Xbox has said he doesn't like garden walls around gaming. He doesn't think that they should be there. And in a Game Pass era, you can say that because your priority is Game Pass. Your priority is not walling off your console necessarily. We know we're getting a hybrid PC console next time. At least that's the rumor. We're getting a Xbox handheld in 2027 with this next generation of Xbox hardware as well. It makes sense to me that Steam, access to your Steam library on these consoles is not only possible, but maybe happening, which I think is cool. I think Microsoft, or Xbox rather, has a vision for unified gaming that really is going to set it apart. And I think really helping to push the gaming genre forward in 2025, where look at kids who are growing up today with devices. They don't care about hardware devices that enable them to only play, for instance, PlayStation games or Xbox games or Nintendo games for that much. They care about convenience. They're growing up in a world where they can access anything and everything from their pockets on their phones. That is a world that I did not grow up in. In my early adult years, my late teen years, that world started to come to pass, but I didn't grow up in that world. Instant gratification that way. And in that world, unified gaming makes sense. It's a Xbox. If they're able to pull this off and Steam merges onto Xbox, I think Xbox will create a cohesive and versatile gaming environment that really will set it apart from everybody else. Now, does PlayStation move in this direction? Does Nintendo move in this direction? I don't know that Nintendo does yet. I don't know that they need to. PlayStation, again, is a question mark. The reason Xbox is able to make these gigantic changes is because they're behind. That's just the reality. When you're behind, it's the blue ocean strategy. How do we change? How do we adjust to go dominate? Like, is there new opportunities that have not yet been explored in the gaming space where we dominate? Game Pass is a big part of that. Unified gaming may be another part of that. Let's go through this story. This is WCCFtech.com. New Xbox UI image shows Steam label, further hinting at the merging of the best of Xbox and Windows. The Xbox UI is set to change significantly in the future, and it may soon show Steam games that are installed on the system, judging from an image shared online that was promptly removed shortly after. It's interesting that it was promptly removed. Oh, shoot. Guys, we forgot. We forgot that this label. Now, that might mean that it was just a mock-up that they were testing, and they didn't intend for that to be there. Like, nothing has been confirmed yet. We can't put that on there. We've not ran this deal. We've not done the analysis to see if it would make sense. We were just seeing what it would look like. Is this something that we want to do? Which is hilarious. As reported by The Verge, an image was shared in a new blog post titled "Opening a Billion Doors with Xbox," which highlighted changes in the game industry and users now tending to engage with games across multiple devices. This is Xbox Play Anywhere. Again, Xbox Play Anywhere is a huge value to consumers, and I think is really going to change gaming going forward. Showing how it's going to create a new standard for gaming in that I buy my game one place and I get it everywhere. Absolutely huge. Showing how the Xbox UI could change in the future to account for this tendency. What makes this new interface interesting is a clearly visible Steam label in all variants of the interface, TV, tablet, and handheld. According to unspecified sources, Microsoft is working on an Xbox app update that will show every game installed on a PC, including games purchased on other digital storefronts like Steam and the Epic Games Store. As this Xbox app update is still in the early stages of development, however, the inclusion of all installed PC games in the interface may be scrapped as work continues. Besides working on a new Xbox UI and app update, Microsoft is also hard at work on the hardware side of its next generation plans, which include premium successor to the Xbox Series X and a handheld console. They're also reportedly working with Asus on Project Keenan, which is a third-party handheld coming. As such, it will definitely be able to run games because it's a hybrid here. I'm skipping a few sentences. Because of this Xbox, Xbox going console PC hybrid, it will definitely be able to run games purchased on Steam and other digital storefronts, so it wouldn't be surprising for any new UI featuring the Steam label to launch alongside the console. The question here is, could this potential integration of Steam into the Xbox ecosystem redefine cross-platform gaming experiences? Yeah, absolutely. I think it absolutely could. I think this would be huge. I think you combine this with, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but you can combine this with something like Game Pass. You combine this with something like Xbox Play Anywhere, and I think you've got selling points that nobody else has. Do other people take this on is the big question. I think they will. I think they're going to be forced to. I think PlayStation is going to a handheld as well, or going to have that as an offering in its next hardware features. I think everybody's going to go to this new PC hybrid state. They're going to have to, again, in order to compete. Maybe Nintendo Switch won't. They're kind of doing their own thing. They always do. Eventually, maybe they do. I doubt it, though. I just think that this is the future of gaming. I think Xbox, because they're behind on the hardware side, they really were forced to completely shift direction to say, hey, do we want to be serious about this or not? They decided to get serious. They went and spent a ton of money on Activision Blizzard, on Bethesda. More acquisitions, I'm sure, are coming in the coming years. They were exploring Ubisoft or some Ubisoft IP titles. And I think this is just the reality. I think we are limited in the days of walled garden gaming. I don't think it's going to exist in the future, and I think that's only going to benefit us as gamers and consumers, rather. I would love to know what you guys think, though. Do you think this is a good idea, bad idea? Would you play Steam? Would you be more likely to buy a hardware device from Xbox, even if it's a hybrid PC console, if it included your Steam library? It's interesting. Regardless, that's interesting. Does that mean we get achievements on those, by the way? How cool would that be? I want achievements on everything. I will buy a game just on an Xbox to get those achievements. So that does us for today, everybody. Again, let me know your thoughts on any of these stories in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We drop videos like this all the time. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.